Ho, ho, ho. So welcome everyone from frosty Finland. We've had about 50 centimeters of snow, so it's perfect for this Santa's Christmas Pitch event that we're organizing today. My name is Verneri Välimaa. I'm going to be your host and moderator for this event. And we're super excited. The purpose of this event is to showcase, empower, and support the startups that are creating solutions for helping children and helping youth in a variety of ways. And Santa's Christmas Pitch, so we're going to have 10 startups showcasing from globally. We've been having applications. We had 10 different nationalities in total, 28 applications, and now we've selected through a public voting process and our own due diligence the 10 best startups. And before we get into the pitching, we're going to have a short panel with our jury members where we're going to be speaking about the importance and some of the trends happening in this kid tech space. And yeah, so just a short word about the organizers. So we are Arctic Startup. We are a media and event organizing company located in Helsinki, but also we have had offices in other countries, and now we're been operating in the Nordic and Baltic region, but actively internationalizing. We'll be having an event in Turkey later this year, also in Bangkok happening at some point. So now okay, and now we're going to be showcasing the 10 best impact startups that are creating solutions for children. And the 3 best startups will be selected by the jury, and they will be getting the invitation to next year's Santa's Christmas Gala. And this is organized with our co-organizing party, which is Lasten ja Nuorten Säätiö, the Children and Youth Foundation located here in Finland, who are doing different types of programs for supporting children. And soon we'll be getting into the panel, and maybe we are ready to start right now. Enes, what do you think? I will give Mikko-Pekka, one of the jury members, a moment to introduce the charity. So can you please put Mikko-Pekka and Pasi onto the screen? All right, so now we're gonna kick off the program with a panel. And before we get into the panel, I'd like to obviously introduce, we have Pasi Joronen, founder of Polkuni, and we have Mikko-Pekka Hanski. And Mikko-Pekka Hanski is representing the Lasten ja Nuorten Säätiö Children and Youth Foundation. I'd like to give him an opportunity to say a few words.
All right. Hello, everybody. About Children and Youth Foundation, it's a 30 years old foundation over here, and fantastic that we have this partnership on thinking about this, because the world of children and youth needs new innovations always. Our job, our foundation's job, is to increase the belief for the future that kids can actually influence it. And we do that with several programs. We have the Future Cool, Read Our, Work Life thing, and also Dreams. And foundation can be passive just investing to research and these things, but Children and Youth Foundation is very active. We have almost 30 people working together, creating actual impact here in Finland, and several new innovations and ideas and programs coming up next year. And I wish you all can help us to increase the belief to the future, that there is alternative futures and the kids can actually influence it. So thank you for inviting us and being partners.
Thank you, Mikko-Pekka. And as Mikko-Pekka alluded to, there are definitely opportunities for innovation within this space for startups, and there can be, exponential impact from supporting youth as they grow and start their journeys in life. So now we're going to get into this panel talking about startups helping children, some of the trends and other key factors. So first, I'll give a quick introduction and we get into the questions. So we have Pasi Joronen. Pasi is here to help with innovative approaches to save the planet. And when he says here, I think he means on the planet, to save the planet. So Pasi Joronen has 5 teen kids, and after working in the media for 20 years, he exited the family business to establish with his kids the family office called Polkuni, from where he's helping startup founders with daily struggles in business as an investor, an advisor, and personal paths as a coach. So there's Pasi. You can give a little wave. And then we have Mikko-Pekka Hanski, who you just heard from, a father to 3 teenagers, trained as an elementary school teacher back in the 90s. Never ended up working as a teacher, as he founded a design agency with his friends, which is quite a big company at this point, Ideon. And then nowadays working as an advisor, investor, and board professional to increase good spirit in everyday life of everyone, but especially the future superstars. And that organization is called Ministry of Good Spirit. Yes. And we did have a third panelist, Mari Luukkainen from Icebreaker VC, who unfortunately cannot make it this time. And we didn't have enough time to replace the jury member or panelist. So we are left with a situation. We have, and I will acknowledge the fact that we have an all-male panel, and maybe we don't have the motherly perspective here, but I'm sure that we will be able to get by, and Mikko-Pekka and Pasi are perfect to join here. So I'll start off with just a simple one. What is your relationship to children and kids and youth? And the floor is open for either of you to start.
Go on, Pasi.
All right. I wanted to be creative and put my Christmas cap on, since I couldn't find anything suitable. But I gave myself 2 minutes, so I'm advising everyone here. Find yourself. Challenge yourself and find yourself something related to Christmas, or whatever holiday you call it, days off. My relations to kids, they are the future. I'm already digging the grave here, helping out startups, helping out start with with the people close to me. That's 5 pieces. Helping them out to get their full potential, to teach me also as much as possible, since the only way to, and that goes also for everywhere in the world, the only way to reach parents is through kids. So the more they are involved with the parents are involved with their kids, the more they will learn. So I'm establishing that. I'm doing the opposite as my parents did or are still doing. So it's also a generation thing, which we need to, as we and the planet need our help bad at the moment. This is the time to accelerate and form new traditions in the family and new ways of reacting and being on the skin to learn and to help. And as also I don't have a watch, but I have this, which is my engagement to UNICEF. So I'm strongly strongly in the international council. We are working on innovative aspects of how to engage teenagers and teen-related products to the market through this big bureaucratic company, you might say, or organization like UNICEF. So how can we as individuals help them to flourish and be agile and fast? And so that is also another angle. And of course, I'm in the startup community here in Finland, and like one of my main things I do is to coach startup founders, since they are usually very special characters, and they to push forward their innovative approaches to the world and also stay in contact with themselves. So that's what I do through my NLP training, what I've done in training about myself, but also training, as a professional trainer coach. That's it.
All right.
Mikko.
Yeah, so my relationship with kids is very simple, actually. As an aspiring father, I try to evolve the human connection with my sons that are all teenagers. Obviously, father's influence to positive or negative influence to kids is decreasing, and their peers' influence is increasing. So obviously, I try to be in a harmonious and balanced way, try to connect it with the teenagers. When their brain changes, my brain changes as well. The second relationship with kids is that kids has taught me everything that I know about design. And I was a 20-year-old arrogant student in University of Jyväskylä, started to be a teacher, and in my first training, I was faced with 37-year-old kids. And our job was to learn to read. After first hour, a 7-year-old girl said to me that, "Hey teacher, do you know what? The teaching is not about the teacher or school system, it's about us." Same thing with design. I think that so kids has one kid has with her comment has taught me everything that I know about design. My relationship is very simple and direct.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cannot relate to being on the parent side, but I can imagine that you're always learning from the children as well. So
yeah,
Pasi, like as a parent, what are the things that you worry about most for the future?
At some point when they were growing up, I was really finding their passion and out of the concept that or thinking that I had in mind. So that if it is that they they want to explore how the ants walk, that's they're passionate about that, that I'm here to support them. So that was one of the things, finding their passion. And what else? What was the question?
Yeah, what you worry about most, or
Yeah,
what gives you the most hope? You can throw that in there too.
Yeah. So the worrying thing currently for the world is that we are not using the youth capacity as we could, and we have a system that is made, schooling system, what I'm referring here, that has made is turning us into machines or whatever, and it's 100-year-old system that is not serving us most efficiently currently. So I'm worried about that we lose the teenagers to do kind of execution type of work, with brains turned off, and we need that brain capacity. And every step forward will help someone to make even a bigger step forward. So losing that potential, that's the biggest worry for me, and that's why I'm really engaged with the teenagers and teens pursuing for their entrepreneurial careers.
What about Mikko-Pekka? Are you relating to the things that Pasi says, or?
Yes, very much. That's a very different perspective to this one. So very everyday worry is that now Finland has snow and the winter has come. I'm worried that my teenagers understand that they have to wear like warm clothes. that's my
first.
Yeah, or clean and warm. Anyway, so that's a very simple worry. But that I totally agree with Pasi about the worries and hopes and the opportunities. That kind of like obstacle. Opposite to worries, also that. What Pasi said.
Yeah, absolutely. I think increasing youth capacity. I'm sure that there's some startups even in this event that are trying to tackle that, bring out like the best, get all that human potential and using it in the right direction for our big like macro problems. So what about Mikko-Pekka, from the perspective of an educator? I know you haven't worked as a teacher, but you have this type of experience. What trends do you see globally in children? Because obviously and if you have a perspective on that, obviously a lot of things are local, but what are the things that are changing in our everyday life that are impacting children in one way or another?
I think that already from the early days of Nokia, one of the big things was that put the mobile device in palm of everybody's hands, and this democratizing technology is one of the really big things that actually creates opportunity. That the distance from having access to all knowledge in the world is decreasing tremendously. Now, at the same time, with the recent launch of OpenAI's ChatGPT, if you combine the access to technology and also the technology's abilities to understand things and explain things, if that goes all the way to the far end of the last mile, I think that's a great trend that helps everybody. On the other hand, the one trend is that still, especially when governments and countries have their own problems, they're like stressed. Quite often, one of the trends that impacts the education system, that the education system becomes control systems. And so at the same time, we have a like opening up layer of technology, but at the same time, somebody starts controlling it. And that's it's like I think this conflict or tension is something that we have to be very mindful about.
What about Pasi? From what do you see, and what do we need to be mindful of as educators, teachers, parents, entrepreneurs?
For me, the touch of reality. So from the UNICEF data, what I'm available to get some from the people, we see that it's not many kids in the countries where they should be going to school are actually dropping out because it brings no added value to them. It's not touching them in the touch of reality world. So they go for storage. I call them a storage, the schools. So they are either and the teachers are not motivated, they are not paid off, it's just like things do not happen. I visited many schools around the world, seen in this one school in India, there was like, we will hire any adult entering the school. That was quite alarming at some point. So it's just like the system is not taken care of, and at the same time as it should bring out the best out of the students from many perspectives, from artistic or business or whatever, pursue their interest and passion. They're putting them in a kind of like frame, which they're already struggling as their personality is evolving at the same time, and they are put in the frame which they carry with them all through their life. And the kind of usual things I have also here, and on the right shoulder I have my artist artist in me, and I come across with you know, the words or the sentences the teacher has said to a student that they still remember after 40 or 50 years. You know, you cannot sing. Thank you. Just, you know, in the choir, just move your mouth, please. Don't sing. Things like that. And they you know, they are very vulnerable, and, you know, those things are. So that is something that I'm in that system. I just, you know, the teacher has, they are not always that positive from the personal private perspective.
Sounds like there could be a design problem as well in that system.
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing that is really kind of gaining steam right now within startups is, you know, and in general, is the quantification or measurement of impact, and how that will be used in like financial assessments in the future. But it's so hard with, you know, with quantifying the impact of helping a child, because it can be so exponential, and, you know, it can be seen so far along the way. So as impact investors, the first question would be like, how excited are you when you meet founders that are building a product to help children?
I think it's a wonderful thing, because like we inherited, I think all of us in this program and this time and space that are in this Zoom understand explicitly also that helping kids to learn better and reach their full potential is the best ever investment. It's the best venture capital investment of a country that you can do. The thing is that if we just know it, but how is not that the reality in the world? And I think that's a question of that. I think what inspires me with all the startups and these innovators, that we can actually realize and try to quantify it. It's a like an exploration journey. We're going to find a number for it. It has not yet been found, the measurement, but we are on the way of finding, and that's very inspiring.
What about Pasi? How do you feel when you run into a startup helping children?
I have a personal problem with the measurement, since if you it's the same. I have a few companies working on the sustainability currently, and, you know, the only thing that the companies that are asking are, give us a KPI that you can follow, you know, give us something from 0 to 100, and we say, hell no, because it's you know, if it can be explained that easily, it, you know, it will give a false perspective. So it's so many multiple angles and things that you cannot actually, you can just pick up the data points around it, and you can acknowledge that, you know, there's things that I can or we need to do. But, you know, having one, like a single credit telling you you know, that how things are, you know, it's just, you know, it's not today anymore. You know, it's more a feeling. It's you know, there's so many things that you know, are so, like I say, as an investor I started quite heavily 7 years ago in Helsinki, the accelerator program for learning solutions, and I've seen the problem with that is being like, you know, it's nice to it's like feels super good to you know, make that kind of inventions. But then the reality and the filters that are built around it, you know, from each school, from each county to each state to each, you know, whatever policies you make, and the scaling is just painfully slow. And it's not a viable, often it's not a viable a profitable investment. I'm not looking for fully on that. But just even get it out of Finland and, you know, some other countries, it takes a huge effort. And just recently, you know, the investors have actually considered that, you know, investing into the education applications is worth it, since, you know, the track record of that and the profits and what they are after has not still kind of met their needs.
Do you have a comment on that, Mikko-Pekka?
No, it's like following up the lead of Pasi.
Right. All right. So you kind of touched on it. You're meeting founders. Different impact investors have different ways to look at it. Some are using measurement tools more than others. So what's like important for you? We could go to Mikko-Pekka. Is it the product or the service, or would it be the intentionality of the founder, of what they're trying to accomplish?
It's totally in the intention and also the attitudes of the founder. And there's one particular thing that I kind of like I try to find is that are the founders doing it for themselves or for the company or for the bigger cause? And also there that what kind of mandate the founders think that they have to actually solve the problem. And these kind of like a very value-based questions are kind of like goes into my head when I look at the ideas change, but the founders slowly change.
Right. So like even if a company will iterate, and they often have to, if there's intentionality, then you know that they might bring forward this bigger mission they try to make. Yeah. Absolutely. Do you see a potential negative impact from merging kind of kids and technology with like apps? This is for both.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking about that. There's like of course there's like negative impacts. Every solution have negative like impacts. Nothing is like fully positive. But I think that with good intentions, they are not road to hell, but they are road to finding a best solution. And I think that's something that I would like to urge and empower and amplify all the founders to look at this thing, how we make two good solutions against one negative impact. Very, very generic answer.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think it's the classic one where you solve one problem and you create 10 more. It's just the nature of the game, nature of the beast. But what do you think, Pasi? What do you see? Do you see potential negative impact, and how do you feel about the net impact, or if there is a such thing
on digital devices?
Yeah, like merging kids with technology, helping kids through using.
That's the only way to scale. But then how it's done, how it's managed, and so for me, one of the problems is the technology is that the parents need to have the control on the technology. They need to also take a stand. They need to be tough on the putting the borders and the frames for the usage, and so if they outsource it only to schools and so it's the kind of they are using the mobiles as much as the kids. So there's always the negative aspect, but it's the only way to scale things. We don't have the manpower to scale things if they need to be digital, because we don't have time. We don't have the 100 years. We have max 10.
Right. So where do you see possibly the best like opportunity for a solution to like children's problems? What would be something that you would want to see someone solving that comes to mind?
There are so many, but just to elaborate from Mikko-Pekka's answer, that I'm screening the kind of the founder story, the pain point that they experience themselves, because that's usually the thing that drives the product further, and the resilience for the negativities that come along the founder journey. So from the personal story with the pain point is relevant. I invest to founders. I know that if I invest into good-hearted, genuine, passionate, emotional founder, I know that they will make right pivots if needed. they that's so that's been my philosophy from the day one on my investment track.
What about Mikko-Pekka?
Yeah. Like the original question was, I just started to ponder Pasi's words. So.
Right. Sorry. So, like, what would be something that you want to see someone solving in children and youth?
That kind of like finding the answer. I don't know if it can be found, but finding the answer that how we can overcome the human kind of like urge to create control systems, because learning is always a revolution. I don't know how to read. Now I know to read. It's a revolution. So how can these solutions like go beyond the existing mental models is what is good. And but there's many roads to this, but that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Well, final one for both of you is what are you wishing from Santa this year? Maybe it could be related to this topic with him.
Yeah.
Personally, a little bit of hope, more hope, and that we get our acts together in terms of finding peaceful methods to focus on the real problems that we're facing. I'm really concerned about that, and reflecting through my kids. Also, that is something that I'm hoping that the Santa might give us a little bit of sensitivity and empathy during the December days, dark days here in Finland.
I hope that that there's a little shift from a dystopic view to a utopic view. Little shift.
Yeah, nice one.
From dystopia to utopia.
Yeah.
I have another wish.
Yeah.
It's a brand that my colleague in Malaysia just launched. It's changing from me to we.
Nice one. I'm thinking about, you guys both mentioned a little bit on like how your children teach you or how children do. So I'd love to see some way that we could have children teaching adults even more. And I think that's like has to come from both sides. All right. Hey, thank you guys for the panel. We went a little bit over, so now I'm going to rush into getting the pitching started, but I think we're going to be fine. We can take a minute out of the break later. So would Enes like to transition us into the first pitch? Maybe you can, or I guess I open it here. So, now we're going to start the pitching competition. We're going to have 10 startups coming. We're going to have a little break at 3:50 after the fifth startup. And Pasi, and so you're going to pitch for 3 minutes, and then for 5 minutes, there's going to be a Q&A, and Pasi and Mikko-Pekka are immediately going to give you feedback and immediately give you a score. And the two things that we're looking for today is impact and the quality of the pitch. So you'll get feedback on those two things immediately. So I'd like to welcome the first startup now, which is Kide Science. And Sari Hurme-Mehtälä is the founder there who's going to be pitching. So please bring them on.
All right. Hi, everyone. So KIDE offers a platform for early years teachers with playful and story-based lesson plans. The research shows that play promotes children's learning of many different skills. But unfortunately, play is happening less and less these days in schools and classrooms. Everyone needs active child-centric pedagogy instead of screens and worksheets. And even 20% of children have learning barriers. The teachers of 3 to 8-year-olds feel the pressure and lack of confidence to teach science, and they have no time to plan playful inquiry activities for different needs. Luckily, we had 5 years of academic research by our founder to find the most engaging approach for early childhood education. The engagement is guaranteed because we use imaginary play and stories with children. And it is screen-free for children in a classroom, so we don't offer any screen time more for young children. It works even with ADHD children. The platform for teachers is really easy to use. The teacher can search a specific topic or what kids are curious about or passionate about, and then they can do the lessons after they have watched the guidance through video and everything else from the platform. Every lesson starts with the story that has a problem that the kids need to solve through hands-on experimentation. In the end, the children will report back, for example, to the robot Hoseli, how did they find out the problem and what did they do to solve the problem for robot Hoseli. We have lots of topics and interests that kids are curious about in those age, for example, slime or even holidays or Christmas, but we also cover many topics that you need for early years education: STEAM, arts, movement, social education, and everything else. We even partnered with DreamWorks' Gabby's Dollhouse hit Netflix series, where we made lesson plans for each of those Gabby episodes. We have paying subscribers from 30 countries, and we are focusing now for the US, where we just closed big deals for the public sector with New York, and in Florida, Orange County Public Schools. Our pricing plan is quite easy to understand, so everybody, even you there, can start for free for our platform and then subscribe to a monthly or yearly plan with all features, lesson plans, and trainings. We have 4 levels of impact evidence, and we just won as a best learning solution from Finland for international market. We have raised $3+ million seed funding, and there's still some room left for people who want to play with us. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Sari. So now we have a 5 minutes Q&A. We have it on the timer there. Go ahead.
Yes, may I ask about your story creation thing? Because I think you have a wonderful universal idea that, of course, play is the way we learn. And also combining science to it is really cool. It's a universal thing. But stories, they have a lot of cultural connotations. So how do you intend to scale the story creation?
Yes, really great question, because we don't have any cultures in our stories, because everything happens in the imagination world called Supraland, where everything is possible. There's no Finland, there's no countries, there's no cultures. So the story world are actually out of any cultures or country-specific things, and that's why it's globally scalable. We haven't had to use any other stories in any other countries or cultures.
Good solution.
Since this is a little bit familiar case for me, as Sari knows, I have a little bit kind of like investment. You are a scale up phase currently, right? And
well, kind of. We still haven't raised the A round, so I have to say that we have kind of scaled the solution, but we have wanted to develop that our users have used that for free. And now we are trying to grow the revenue and business case, especially in the US market. So maybe not saying scale up yet, but otherwise, yes.
Getting close there.
Yep.
Yes. Congrats for that. You've been doing a long journey so far. And I know it's not easy to get to that stage, especially around in education. What has been your secret sauce? If you need to name 3, how you got this far, and you actually, you are one of the top educational teams in Finland. How did you make it?
I wish I had one secret sauce to share, but for me, if I now look back, I would say like every year we have done quite big changes for the business model, for the delivery of the product. We have developed, for example, launched many things, many business models, many features, or even different distribution channels like platforms or something else. So we are iterating and almost like pivoting all the time. And the pandemic wasn't a huge help. So we have changed a lot and many times, and that has made it as a challenging part. But also we have kind of created the skin again every year like a snake in a way. So maybe that's one of the things. And then we have had the same team and core team all of the years. So I would say one key solution is like the whole team is always there to believe what we do, and they want to support us. And I feel like they are, everybody of our team are founders and really into it. So they are passionate about what we do and they want to make things better.
Have you openly shared also your mistakes to other teams so that they could actually learn from what not to do?
Yes and no. I feel it's really hard to share the mistakes that others can kind of try to avoid them, because all of the mistakes I feel that we have made have been really specific for our product, or then like, okay, well, there was a pandemic, or we were focusing for a China market, and then the legislations there kind of cut everything down. So it was almost impossible. So there's so big things that happen to everybody, but then also really specific for our company that it might not help to others. But I'm always trying to share those learnings that others don't do the same mistakes.
Thank you for that, Sari. Mikko, do you have anything else?
I'm just saying that congratulations on closing the New York.
Yes.
That's like a superb thing.
Yeah.
That's like a really big thing.
Yes, it is. We felt like that was kind of the hardest city or state. And it was so happy to see that. And also that we didn't need to change anything in the solution, that it fit 100% what we had for their needs. And have to mention also the Florida deal is actually that we started now with the special needs teachers and students. So that's even bigger thing for us. It's 9th biggest district in the US. And to start with special needs education is something like really amazing. Brings tears almost in my eyes.
How long did it take you to close the US deals?
They happened actually almost like in the meeting. So they were fast, but otherwise I felt like it has taken us years to try to enter the US market with B2B. But now I feel there is a moment after pandemic and everything.
Okay, sorry guys. Okay, now we have to stop. Congratulations, Sari. But
Thank you.
Pasi and Mikko-Pekka, can you give a score for impact and score for pitch, 1 to 5?
It's like the first core thing. So I kind of like it, the 4 and 4 of these. Of course, there's always, Sari probably know that there's always room to improve. I also could give 6 and 6 because there's also numbers upwards coming out from there. But 4 and 4 is my current verdict of this one. But pretty inspiring. Good job.
Okay.
I go also the pitch. I'm still in favor of the kind of the personal pain points that would elevate the pitch, because it gets very emotional. That was lacking it. So I'm giving I will give 5 for all the reasons: activity, imaginary play, hands-on, New York, UNICEF. Those things are so big that it's just for that I give a 5.
Okay, thank you everyone. Now we're gonna welcome the next startup. Thank you, Sari. See you around in the end or in the breakout rooms. Now we're gonna have Milla Westerling from Green Planet Astronauts joining.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Milla. Floor is yours.
Good to be here. Let me share my screen. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So here we go. We are Green Planet astronauts, and we are transforming how kids are fed. Oops, it's not. Let's see here. Right. So the problem is parents have no idea how to get kids used to plant-based. 88% of parents would like to add plant-based to a kid's diet, but like Antti here, a millennial parent to Helmi, has no idea how to do it, and he's been lacking the tools how to introduce the taste and texture of plant-based to his kids. He knows that eating more plant-based is the biggest impact that an individual can have on a carbon footprint. No worries, Antti, we have a solution for you. We do sustainable kids food that is built on planet-friendly pillars. It is always organic, it is 100% plant-based, and our packaging is always recyclable. We do product innovation for every meal at every age stage. We have veggie blends for starting solids. We introduced the world's first oat milk product to kids. We have an oat bar that is rich with plant-based protein, and we have oat bites that is like healthy candy replacing milk chocolate. We're building our product portfolio towards the toddler and preteen years beyond the baby food category. We're also building a unique tech platform for planet-friendly parenting. 89% of parents need help with kids' nutritional needs, especially when it comes down to eating more plant-based. We combine first-party data to nutritional information, and then we turn it into a personalized meal plan and a nutrient tracker that is creating stickiness and revenue. We are driving sustainability and innovation in the category. There is no other player in the world that would have sustainability in core focus. Retail coverage, a DTC platform with subscription model, a wide age range products that are shelf stable. The market is huge. US is estimated at 90 billion and Nordics around 10 billion. The growth has been amazing. We are listed at 700 plus stores and we have 600 plus subscribers. We are on a 1.2 million euro run rate, operating on 2 markets. Since the beginning of this year, we've been able to grow our subscriber base by almost 250%, AOV by 124, and retail sales out by 91%. We are a group of fun and passionate people, super talented, who really know how to get things done and are really genuinely interested in spreading our mission. In the board, we have top industry expertise as well as successful startup founders. Next step in raising a planet-friendly generation is to raise a funding round of 5 million euros. We're looking for 1 to 2 investors with a broad network in the US and DTC expertise. We're going to close by the end of April.
Look, I need to cut you off. Sorry about that. So Pasi and Mikko-Pekka, please present your question.
Pasi, go on.
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm very interested of the products, the tangible products. How must are they in this? Since I see that a really tough. There's tough competition. It's not easy. So how have you managed to do it, and how do you see that that's these plant-based products in your portfolio in later stage? Do you see that dominating or diminishing, or what is it?
We only do plant-based products now and forever. We are not pushing fully people to go vegan only. That is not going to help the whole planet, but to eat more plant-based. And how we are going to do it is to introduce the taste and texture early for kids. And that's where we are.
So is it the idea that the parents actually eat the same stuff as the kids?
Ideally, yes. I mean, already now we can tell that parents are eating our products, even though we created them for kids. I eat one myself every day. So building the portfolio towards actually like later stage than just baby food, we could have the whole family eating the same meals. but essentially we are creating plant-based food for kids.
Yeah, and by kids you mean that, you know, what was the age range for the, what is it kind of like introducing and then kind of hoping that they you know, what is the kind of the your customer journey, you know, and wish?
Our vision is to be on top of mind for the consumer from prenatal until preteen. So really from even when mothers get pregnant, we will have a product until the kids grow and start eating solids and gradually get older, and we scale with the kids to the preteen years.
So
for each meal, for each occasion.
So what is the kind of the dream thing here, the big picture from the family perspective, that what you're after, you know, what is it? Yes.
The big picture is that plant-based becomes the new normal for kids. They grow up with the astronauts and the whole story of why to eat more plant-based since you're a kid. So you actually grow with the product and you grow with the taste and texture, and it becomes the new normal.
And it becomes a new normal also in the family context.
Also in the family context.
Yeah. Yes.
We've noticed that parents lack actually confidence to add plant-based because we still live in a world where lobbying for dairy and meat is very heavy towards the parents especially. And the whole planet-friendly parenting platform is here to help to bring confidence for parents to add more plant-based to every meal.
I have a question about your branding. If you think about like plant-based food or food in general is a volume-based thing, and obviously you want to be in a volume business. If you think about like music, every day there's 100,000 songs published out of there, and it's a branding. What song people start to listen to and sing along? And I think your song, the Green Astronauts thing, is something that people should be singing. That yeah, I'm gonna buy this every Monday from the grocery store. So what's your idea about like evolving the brand in a way that it's actually a hit song in all over the world?
Good question. Well, the brand is created by the marketing agency of Oatly. I called them up immediately when I had the idea that we actually need to get kids used to the taste of plant-based, but we need a very good story for the kids to get them inspired, first of all. I called them up, the marketing agency of Oatly, and they loved the idea and created a brand that allows us to actually stay with the kids for a longer period of time than just for the baby stage, and to actually be able to tell the story to the kids, how our planet looks like from space.
Yeah, that level of branding, I think it's needed still. And I think just like good job on getting this far, but I think you have some hit songs still coming up.
Thank you. We're launching new products all the time, from 10 SKUs per year to 25 SKUs per year.
Got it.
All right, that's the time. Maybe Pasi and Mikko-Pekka, you can give scores quickly, just saying them out for impact and pitch.
I have a impact on. I have a 4 on the impact, and I have a 4 on the pitch.
4 out of 4.
5.
We were given a 1 to 5. Yes.
Yeah, I would say that I would give. Can I give 4.2 for the impact? 4.2 on the impact and 3.8 for the pitch. I still would like to get a like a story of how to evolve the brand into a global hit song, and also on the other side, what if you sell 50 million of revenue of this one? How do you gonna organize the production of this and distribution of this one? That mystical thing is something that might increase the value of the pitch as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Mila, very much for joining. We'll see you in the breakout rooms. Next, the next one will come on now, and this is Vitali Karpejcik from Pig Pug Health. And we're going to speed it up a little bit with the Q&A, so we can start it at like 1 minute left. You can give the Q&A, the scores, I mean.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Vitali.
Let me start.
Yeah, floor is yours. You can share your screen and start pitching whenever.
Yes, thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Vitaly. I'm a CEO and founder of Pickpack Health, and we work on AI drug-free platform for kids with attention deficit and for autistic kids. Why is this too? Because in more than 50% of cases, autistic kids have some attention deficit signs. On the flip side, in more than 25% of cases, attention deficit kids have some autistic signs. And there is a statistic, these kids have significant challenges in real life, in socialization, in impulse control, concentration. And our mission is to help kids with attention deficit to be more socialized, productive, to live a better life. And this is my personal story. I have been struggling with from autism and ADHD since 6, and I decided that mission of my life will be to help these kids. Right now, there are 3 main ways of treatment: medication, psychological and behavioral interventions, and solutions based on neurofeedback. This is our solution. We provide neurofeedback ongoing therapy under tutor supervision. It consists of 4 parts. It's a telemedicine online platform. It's AI diagnosing. We have designed special headset for sensitive kids and neurofeedback games. This is our product development. We have done more than 7 rounds of prototyping. We're collecting data sets for AI. We're developing games and platform. And by the way, we are ready for pilot manufacturing of our device. How does it look like from the child's view and tutor's view? Generally speaking, child just playing games with the power of their brain. At the same time, tutors provide some like tips and tricks. We have a proof of concept. More than 40 kids participated in our basic course, more than 400 neurofeedback sessions. An early study with working prototype shows significant results for attention deficit and for ISD, autism spectrum disorder. Competitors. We have our main competitive advantage is we have a complete solution. We have a unique combination of hardware and software, and our AI algorithms based on more than 20 years of experience with the clinicians in neurofeedback. Business model, we called it B2C or collaborative business model. Growth will be built on low-cost device plus recurring revenue from subscription. We have to say that we want to make neurofeedback as affordable as possible for any US and world family. We have 3 plans. You could see the prices. It's a US market.
Sorry, but I have to cut you off at this point, so we can continue with the Q&A.
I don't see the timer, by the way.
Oh, you can't see it. Oh,
yes, it's for some
okay.
reason.
Maybe you have to change your view, but okay. So now Mikko-Pekka and Pasi will give you some questions and feedback, and then at 1 minute I will cut it off.
Vitaly, great job, really important thing. So how is your status with the regulators right now with the medical device thing? Where are you on that one?
Yes, we have some contacts with FDA. By the way, we relocated to United States, and right now we work in United States and on United States market. We want to get the FDA approval using 510K protocol, medical device class 2. Using this kind of FDA approval, it's possible to enter Europe market. So
are you now on the process of getting that approval or starting?
Yeah, we are preparing the documentation and for applying for 510K. We already know our 510K. If you don't know 510K, it's a substance.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Good.
Yes. Thanks, Vitaly. I like the approach. You have the hardware and software, and my concern is the kind of the AI experience that I'm meeting in many companies, that they it's not easy, and there are a lot of struggles around it. So can you a little bit describe more, what kind of team do you have behind it, and what are the findings and takeaways around that?
Yes. Thank you. First of all, I would have to say this is the AI. It's kind of not our priority. We are working on the treatment, but we have some algorithms already kind of on the market for AI diagnosing first, and like using raw EEG, we will diagnose attention deficit and ISD. By the way, I'm a kind of AI guy and a serial entrepreneur. We have sold the company to American Online 2016 with some masks using AI, and we have one more guy in our team, AI, like a neuroscientist who works with AI, 2 persons. But I have to say that like AI is kind of secondary priority now, but at the same time, we know that AI is the future, and we want to partially replace human factor in the future by AI. By generally speaking, AI will provide some tips and tricks if it's kind of possible in any cases.
So your first priority is then what?
The first priority is treatment, AI diagnosing, but treatment is to provide some games. Why? Because neurofeedback well known since 19th, and it's proved treatment for attention deficit for autism. But the experience is quite boring. It's a helmet with a lot of wire, gel, like it's impossible to do with kids with the ISD and attention deficit. We have developed the headset comfortable and affordable, and we want to provide very, very interesting content based on 20 years of experience, just to avoid some boring experience for kids.
Can you a little bit tell us about the content? How do you make them? If that is your priority one.
Yes, that's a kind of our key feature. Even someone wants to repeat our device because we have spent like 2 years to develop this form and shape a lot of prototypes, but the content is very, very unique. We have a co-founder, Juan. He has a clinic, neurofeedback clinic, with 20 years of experience with, and we are developing these games and content according to his experience and my experience as an autistic child.
Okay,
Thanks.
now Pasi and Mikko-Pekka, thank you, Vitaly, very much. Can you give a score of 1 to 5 for impact and for pitch?
I would say that I need to be like conflicted on this one because from impact 3 and 5 at the same time, I don't know what to do about it because for the pitch I think I give 3 because I think that the documentation of the idea about how much the patents, where the patent on IP right now, and also the FDA approval, they're a little bit. I think your solution is very much dependent on actually the FDA approval and also with the IP strategy as well. So, but
yeah, the patent has been filed.
Yeah, great job, but this my kind of like thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a 3 on pitch when I value very much that you share your personal story related to that. It's very important and gives and the impact. I know that it will be, since I'm not an expert on the kind of like your focus area. It's hard to judge, but it is something that can be very profitable also. Since there's these like minorities, there's usually money available from different sources. So for them, I give a 3 also.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mikko. Thank you, Pasi.
Good job, Vitaly. Good luck.
We'll see you.
Good luck.
Yep.
Now I'd like to welcome the next pitch, and this is going to be 2 people joining us, 2 co-founders, Pete Reed, or I assume they're co-founders, Pete Reed and Leila Kuja-Walker with Persona Education. Welcome. Floor is yours.
Hi there, thank you.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Good here.
Just share our screen. Are you seeing the screen okay?
Yeah.
Great. Can we start? Thank you. Persona is the only life skills learning platform with a personality insights approach at its heart. We're a UK-based EdTech impact startup on a mission to help schools boost young people's well-being and employability. I'm Pete Reed, co-founder and CEO. I've used a behavioral science personality insights framework to help build several businesses over the past 25 years. Persona was started with the idea of adapting this powerful thinking tool to help our teenagers navigate their life journeys.
Hi, I'm Layla Walker. I'm an educator and co-founder of Persona Education. A major OECD survey shows 15-year-olds worldwide reporting shockingly 30% lower social and emotional skills than 10-year-olds. And this has a major impact, not only on student well-being, but on schools, universities and employers. And these problems will cost £9.8 trillion globally by 2030. So that's why we created Persona Life Skills. Students develop 22 life skills through a personality insights lens. In our modules, they learn to use these to adapt their thinking, communication, and behaviour. We're currently piloting digital skills badges in partnership with Pearson, so students can share these achievements.
There are over 500 million teenagers with internet access on the planet. Persona Life Skills cost £6 per student per year on average, which means our global addressable subscription market is potentially worth £3 billion. We've proven the business case with sales to both government schools and private schools. We're also working on several licensing deals, and our third revenue pillar will be insights data. I'm part of a diverse and experienced team with complementary skill sets. And supporting the core team, we have some reps in India, the Middle East, Africa, and Central Asia. We've also brought together a carefully selected advisory panel.
Today, over 350 schools in 39 countries have registered with more than 100,000 students. And every teacher who's reviewed Persona Life Skills rated it excellent or great. Plus 91% of students report they've learned how to improve their targeted life skills. Last year's revenue approached £200,000 and our pipeline is worth £490,000, I should say. We're aiming for 14,000 paid users this financial year, and we're expecting a 2 to 3 times annual growth to 2026. Our next priorities include adding more sales reps, closing B2B licensing deals, and running Ministry of Education pilots.
We're now raising £500,000 in a seed round to finance growth over the next 18 months. That will enable us to reach 43,000 paid users and around £1 million in revenue. 6 angels have already invested, including our lead investor, Mario Peters, who's the founder of Curriculum.com. As an investor, you'll be buying into a highly scalable product with a unique value proposition.
I have to be very strict.
Thank you for listening.
Mikko-Pekka and Pasi, your turn. And at 1, I will tell you again for scores.
Yes, so as a father of 3 teenagers, I totally agree with your challenge and also the solution. It's there, but I'm a little bit curious about what's your idea about the branding? If you think about selling to 500 million teenagers, there's already energy drinks, there's already alcohol brands, everybody's selling to the teenagers, all kinds of meta skills. So how are you going to compete with the big marketing brands?
We're selling to schools and colleges and through B2B partners. So we are not directly selling to teenagers or parents at this point.
Yeah, and to say that Pearson has also a problem of selling their content to the teenagers as well. It's like a generic. So just thinking about your, like, how do you communicate this in a way that it kind of like levels in a selection process of a teenager? Is it a good or bad thing based on when you're competing with the brands that have 100 million of marketing budget for one country? So that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, part of this is, and as Pete said, because we're working through schools and colleges, one of the reasons for working with Pearson is their accreditation arm. You know, they are, they have millions of students who are following their accredited courses, and they are the carrot at the end of their school and college life to get them into employment or training providers. So by working with Pearson, that if you work through these skills and you show you have these skills and you end up with these badges that you can then share with your next training provider, employer, etc., that's where we are different. We're actually giving them something to pass on to enable them to show they have something different to other teenagers.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the only way to actually to go. But I still think that there's a lot of, we all have a lot of branding things to do as electricians.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
I kind of like in the pitch, you know, in general for everyone, you know, you want to keep your 3 minutes 10-mile high. So the moment I start asking myself a question, then you will not most likely, my thoughts get stuck. So that's the advice I've been given at some point, or that you know, keep it 10-mile high. You know, don't even think about, you know, we're about to land or anything. Don't so you know, that's kind of the basic thing. So here I got stuck with you had 100,000 users, right? And your turnover was not so that much. So are you on a freemium or are you on a what are you doing? You know, that's where I got stuck, and I actually didn't listen to the rest of it because, you know, it didn't match for me. Then my question probably would be that, you know, what are your expectations since you mentioned the Pearson collaboration? What are your expectations from them, since I've experienced that through my companies also being not so easy track? So a little bit elaborate on that. And then the other thing that I'd like to hear from you is like, how about B2B to C track?
Okay, shall I go for the first two? You
Yeah,
go
sure. Yeah.
Let's remember the first one. So yeah, so apologies there. It is a freemium model. So we have our schools use it for a 3-month period before deciding whether to go onto a paid subscription, or there is a free account option as well that they can continue on. So that's the reason for it apparently not matching, but it's because it's a freemium model. And education sales cycles, as you will know, take longer than others. In terms of Pearson, as we were saying to the previous person, they already have a significant network through their accreditation P&L, basically, and they are looking for 2 things really. They understand that there is a huge link between social and emotional learning and attainment. OECD and others have shown that, and so they're wanting to raise the value of their accredited programs by offering social and emotional program to run alongside it as part of that P&L line, basically. So that's where we're hoping to fit into existing P&L that they've got, that they can see as potentially raising the value to their end customer. So that's why that's super exciting. And Pearson, as you know, is that's like the skills and accreditation is the heart of their program.
I'm sorry, I have to cut you
Right.
off again. You guys want to give quickly scores 1 to 5?
So quick one, I have to say that to give scores and evaluation, of course, it's about like a lot of disclaimer. It's about first impression of this one, and obviously that, you know, the better the evaluation of the thing that may. But I think that from the impact point of view, it's like 3.8, 3.7 kind of thing. From the pitch thing, I would like to give you like 2.5, because I was waiting for the big marketing thing, that how do you convert, you know, the 500 billion people that are not in the school system, don't care about the school system, to use this solution, and how do you compete with PlayStation 6 or PlayStation 7 and their marketing budget on this one? But that's my thought.
Thank you.
I'll give from the pitch, I give a 3, since you know, I was already landing my my landing gears were already down. So you got me at one point because of the inconsistency. And the impact, I think this is super, life skills is super important. I have to give from my heart, I give a 5.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. Thank you, Pete.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank
Leila.
you.
See you around.
Bye-bye.
And
Good job.
the next pitch will be, well, the next pitcher will be Mustafa Abdulamir, and the company is Corsi. Please welcome to the stage.
Hello.
Hey, Mustafa.
Hello.
Welcome, Mustafa. Floor is yours. Share your screen.
Just a second. Yes, now it is. Okay. Because background is not working. Okay. I can start. Okay. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Mustafa Abdelamir. I'm originally from Iraq, Baghdad, but I live in Helsinki, Finland. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Corsi. We export Finnish educational principles to reduce the cost of private tutoring and the number of dropout of students in the Middle East. We do that by offering high-quality educational content through gamified mobile application to every 12 to 19 years old student in the Middle East. Since launch in January 2022, at the moment, we have 150,000 users in Iraq only. Let me share with you why we started Corsi. Many of us have experienced that situation when we couldn't go to the college that we wanted, just because we didn't pass the pre-college exam. One reason behind it might be that we didn't have the resources to pay for the private tutoring then. Unfortunately, this is the situation now in the US, India, and many other countries around the world, even in Finland, that is considered one of the best education systems in the world. But where I came from, the Middle East, the story is even worse. Families and students need to pay 20% of their annual income for a private tutoring just to pass the pre-college exam. This is a big thing in the Middle East. You cannot go to any college without passing the pre-college exam. So how we are solving this interesting problem at Corsi? We are taking the local curriculum together with the local teachers and Finnish pedagogical experts. We are producing a content that is 40 times more cost effective and the most important, doubling the passing rate of students. Corsi application has a local curriculum of physics, math, chemistry, and student can consume content through video, text, and image. Since the launch, we have great growth. We launched in January 2022. At the moment, we have plus 150,000 users. Our CAC is 5 cents only. And for the past 6 months, the students spend almost 11,000 hours on Corsi. The most important, our passing rate is 67%. It is double than the offline private tutoring in Iraq. Middle East, EdTech, K-12 is now one of the hottest EdTech markets in the world. Investment has been increased 10,000% since 2003. We're expecting even more growth in 2023. We are a subscription-based business model. Students can purchase one subject for $5 or bundle with $17. We have been now running the business for 2 years, and our team has a combined experience of 215 years of experience in education, technology, and business. We have regional angel investors on board and VCs on board, and we are looking for 800,000 users.
Sorry, I have to cut you off.
Okay.
I have to be strict. So Pasi and Mika-Pekka will present questions.
Absolutely.
Good job, really good job on finding a problem that needs a specific solution. I totally get it, the whole thing, and also that scaling with the technology, very non-scalable solution as well. So that's kind of like my first observation of this one. What I'm thinking about, again, a little bit the branding of the whole thing, and also that how do you consider how you could scale also and the go-to-market ideas regarding your target segment? What are your ideas to scale the volume?
Exactly. So first of all, we are the only Finnish edtech companies who are solving this problem in a very competitive market, and this is very unique competitive advantage. Our branding is that Finland is coming from future to solve the recent problem in the Middle East, and we are a edtech game application which is very attractive for users. Actually, is that the engagement and adoption that we have is very based on the referral between student, and also we have 3 go-to-market plans. One is directly for a student, and one is for the referral with the student themselves, with their friends and their families. We have an ambassador program, and the third thing is we are collaborating with the private institute instead of we are competing with them as other edtech players who are in the market. So everyone is now competing with the offline private tutoring. Actually, we are collaborating with them as we are the online arm for the offline private tutoring, so the digitalization of this. So this is how we are now positioning ourselves, and it seems now it's working in Iraq, and we have the plan to grow to Saudi next year, Saudi and Iraq and Kurdistan, Iraq. And regarding,
thanks for the explanation. I know it took me a little bit while since I haven't actually been in those markets that much, and I know a few companies that are around there. So that was hard to kind of get the full picture. Pre-college exam is kind of the name of the game. I've always had an issue with integrating anything from another country to another. So whatever it is, content-wise or learning skills-wise. So can you a little bit elaborate more on that? How did you actually were able to combine the Finnish way of whatever teaching content to this kind of college level, pre-college?
Excellent question. So first of all other edtech startups who are in the market, which is usually are looking for a scalable business model. So they are offering the tool and the technology, and then they think that teachers and schools are going to adopt it. We see it as we are giving a Ferrari for someone who doesn't know how to drive. So now, like the teachers who are and principals are actually the results of poor education system. So how they gonna use the tools and so forth. So this is one thing. Then the second thing, what we started is we didn't export only from Finland. So we are working very closely with the local teachers, and we have our learning director, Satu Järvinen, has been teaching all around the world. And we together designed what we call Corsi learning experience. It's an innovation that how to deliver local curriculum based on micro-learning, whiteboard, storytelling, and gamification. So this is the innovation. At the moment, we can take any type of content and deliver it based on that. And this is the customization. We have 6 weeks of a training for teachers before they start anything. And we have weekly continuous learning sessions with them in order to make sure that they adopt the whole learning experience.
Thank you. Now I got the picture that should have been there in the pitch. Just to kind of like highlight it a little bit. I had to put my landing gears down, at some point. Sorry.
No worries. And this led to create a production line that produced 30 lessons from scratch, completely per week, cloud-based. Teachers are working on their home in different cities, different countries, and we are producing 30 lessons. The one lesson cost us $19 only. The most cost-effective than any other player in the market.
Congrats for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Mikko-Pekka and Pasi, can you please give a 1 to 5 impact and pitch score for Mustafa?
I would go with a 3 and 3, so that there's a room to improve, especially on the branding side, I would say, still.
Yeah, I would go the pitch wise. I like the dynamics, and I like the experience that you have. But that still would limit me to 3, since I had quite a few question marks on my pitch journey. The impact, the local impact, almost impossible to. But if you have a model, you can replicate the kind of the five stages, the ways. That sounds very interesting, but I go for 3 and 3 also.
Okay. Excellent. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mustafa. Now we're going to go into a short break. I think we can start exactly at 16 in about 4 minutes. Enes, how does that sound?
Good.
It's good for everyone? Okay, sounds good. Let's take a short break and we reconvene. Thank you.
How can you connect people? And that to me is also action, to enable brilliant people around the world to actually get done.
Like one of the most difficult things in going to a conference is like frankly just going up to people and just kind of starting that random conversation.
They just call it deal room chats, right? You just go there, you sit down, you talk for 20 minutes.
I love the way that it was very clear networking, very to the point.
It's a hidden gem, really.
The energy level here has been absolutely fantastic.
Some of the sessions that I set in were just, eye-opening.
And everyone I spoke to has been so open to having open conversations and sharing knowledge and sharing contacts.
Nordib is organized because the world is facing huge challenges and we need solutions, and those solutions come from the science-based innovations and inventions, and we need to bring them to market, and that's why Nordib facilitates putting the business and science together.
The exciting thing about combining entrepreneurs, scientists and investors is that there happens so much in that meeting. For too long we have kept these apart, that investing is one thing, science is another. And in that meeting and that intersection, so many exciting things happen. It's seldom I'm in such energetic conversations with people as the conversations that happen here, between scientists, meeting capital, meeting entrepreneurs. So there's so much energy created in these meetings.
First of all, it is exciting to see that there is this opportunity for mission-driven entrepreneurs to come and in this region to see what is happening. This is not a common thing to do, to promote deep tech on a private level. It's great to have it here, and all those people who are willing to share ideas, discuss things, and implant the seeds of future deep tech potential.
When you are tackling the problems of today, you are tackling them from the scientific point of view. But many times for the VCs, you actually have to hide that and talk about the business opportunity only. And I think it's great here that people actually ask you about the science. They want to know the details about things. And of course, you talk about the business opportunity, but the science comes first. And I like that.
It's been inspiring to see how open the community here is. I definitely would recommend for younger people to come here that are interested in startups or have deep tech interests and want to connect with lovely people and understand more about deep tech.
This has been a very anticipated event that brought together business and science together in the same place, which was something very needed.
Ojekunle from Odemi. So floor is yours.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Okwemi and I'm the founder of Odemi. Do you all remember what happened in 2020 when COVID-19 reared its head? Working from home became the norm and schools had to move to remote learning. And when that happened, communities had to adapt. Unfortunately, statistics shows that 3 out of 4 children globally do not have access to e-learning resources that could improve their learning proficiency. In Nigeria alone, over 50% of Basic 2 students cannot perform simple addition, and that is very sad. So Odemi is solving this problem by providing access to affordable e-learning experience for African children to improve their STEM proficiency. We offer self-paced learning and live classes that can boost learning proficiency by over 40% at pocket-friendly rates. Our team has the academic achievements, experience, and expertise to tackle this problem. Myself as the founder, I have a PhD in STEM, and I am an educator for over 7 years now, teaching STEM subjects. And my co-founder, Bayomi, was a computer science teacher for over 5 years in Nigeria. And he also has experience building software products at top technology companies in the United States. Currently, he's enrolled in his MBA class at the Texas McCombs School of Business. $22 billion. That is Africa's projected edtech spending by 2026. We know there's a market for e-learning, and our target is to capture over 20% of market share in the STEM learning segment. So we specialize in STEM learning with a focus on the K-12 market segment in order to differentiate from our competitors. So currently, access and affordability are the core of our business. We offer learning experience that help our users reach their goals and generate revenue from 3 different offerings. Our go-to-market strategy focuses on people and partnerships. So we partner with schools, corporate organizations, and sell directly to customers. Currently, our platform serves over 3,000 students, and we're on track to reach 5,000 students by the end of the year. Over the next 12 months, we're looking to educate over 50,000 children in Nigeria. Currently, we are raising $300,000 in pre-seed funding, which will go into customer acquisition, content production, and to build premium features. Join us in our quest to build STEM skills for African children. Thank you.
Excellent.
Pasi will present questions.
I have a few tough ones to start with.
All right.
As I'm also, I know a little bit of the educational background as I'm active in with UNICEF. How do you deal with the online and offline issues? And then also the what kind of level of mobile phones can access your system? Since, you know, let me take an example of, you know, like 2G is, you know, okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
In the African countries. So, but just like just focus on the technical problems first.
Right. So good question. So currently we have our product online where students can access it on feature phone. And this is possible because currently in Africa, everyone, I mean, basically everyone, based on the research we've done, have access to a feature phone that can access either Facebook or Instagram. But our content are produced, you know, with the ability to use just low speed internet. So if they're able to go on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, they are more than able to use that same phone for our content. So they really don't need a laptop or iPad because we don't even want the kids to be exposed to that yet. So just a feature phone is enough to get access to our content on our web.
All right. It's good that you're taking that in consideration. Since that's
Right.
a must. Yes.
How is your credential system right now? That if a student goes through your courses, what kind of external or internal credentials you're providing?
Right. So when students go to our program, before they start, we like to know a baseline, have a baseline to measure their progress. So we do like a basic test for age appropriateness and based on what they have been taught in school. So after 6 weeks, we do another form of assessment, right? So, and that is for those that are learning on the web app. Another part of our offering is our live one-on-one classes where we do a cohort-based learning. So after every 6 weeks, the children tend to do a form of competition for maths, and in the STEM, I mean, the coding class, they do a coding challenge. So with that, we measure how much impact we've been able to make in 6 weeks.
So what happens if, you know, is this validated that, you know, if you reach certain level in your courses, can you then apply for something, you know, concrete to school or anything? You know, is it, you know, what is it good for if you pass the courses?
Oh, sure. Good question. So basically what we're targeting is before kids get into what we call secondary school in Nigeria, they need to have a very strong foundation. So by the time kids are done learning on our platform, we are confident enough that our kids are able to compete with the in the government entrance exam into secondary school, because that is more like one very tough exam that kids have struggled with. But going through all our curriculum-based content, kids are able to pass that exam and go into secondary school. That is the next phase of the K-12 without any struggle.
So this is actually the entrance test for the secondary school level, kind of like, you know, rehearsing for that.
So no, that's not what we do. We are not replacing the school. What we only
We're not
want
replacing, but you know, this is, you know, help them to pass the secondary school level, the test.
So we are helping them to build foundational knowledge and skill in maths and other STEM courses, because this is what they would eventually do when they get to secondary school. And based on research and those that are into that market segment, kids struggle a lot when they get to that class. But if they're able to gain firm knowledge and have that good skill even before they get to that age, the transition will not be a problem. Because what we've also seen from research is when kids get to the first year of secondary school and they see a lot of that struggle, they drop out because they do not have a good foundation. And you know, when the foundation is not good enough, there is no amount of work that can be done that would, you know, give the kids the kind of confidence and learning ability they need to get. But on our platform, our target is to make sure that they have that skill and they are taught all they need to know even before they get to that secondary school, so that there will be no dropout.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Opeyemi. Well done. Could Mika-Pekka and Pasi quickly give a score for impact and for pitch?
Yeah, I would give for the pitch. I think there's a lot to still work on, and especially you know, so I would give a 2 for that. And the impact now, as you mentioned, the kind of for me the fundamental words is, you know, dropout school rate, and you know, working on that. That is something that, you know, I would highlight very strongly, because that is the kind of the impact aspect, at least for me. So now finally finding that out, I give it a 3.
Thank you.
I give a 3 from the impact side, but 2.5 from the pitch, because it's I think you really have to think about the branding and you know, in that sense, because you're not only selling your application, but you're also selling STEM. So how do you do that with the kids that have a lot of other things to think about?
Perfect.
Thank
you. Thank you, Opeyemi. See you around. We'd like to welcome the next one. Ciao. And the next one will be the next startup pitching is founder is Ursula Lavrencic from Kobe. Please welcome to the stage.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So I just share my screen and go?
Yes, floor is yours.
Okay. Good. Is everything okay?
Yes.
So, hi, my name is Ursula. I'm the co-founder of Kobe, and we help children with dyslexia learn to read. Now, learning to read is always a challenge, but for kids with dyslexia and ADHD, that's 25% of the population, it's a seriously painful problem. Parents of these kids witness a horrific transformation when they send their children to school. I know this very well because I've been there. But I also know that these kids can efficiently learn, but they need to be reading, preferably reading out loud 7 minutes every day. And for kids with dyslexia, it's really, really, really hard. It feels like this. But when we give the brain extrasensory input, it becomes easier to decode. We created a solution that combines efficient techniques and fun content in progressive difficulty and spiced it up with celebration of success. It's a perfect mix based in the science of reading, and it has been professionally validated. But we didn't build Kobe for schools. We built it for parents, so they can help their kids immediately. And there is a gap in the market for this population. a 2 billion MRR gap, to be exact. We could help 31 million kids localizing in just 5 languages. EdTech and edutainment markets are growing rapidly, and we want to put dyslexia and COBE clearly on those growing markets. It's a crazy mission, I know, but I'm optimistic because we have an MVP on the market that people use and are paying for. But more importantly, I have proof that I can bring people in the product 8 times as cheap as the benchmark. So how come? There is a bunch of solutions set to entertain kids once they know how to read, but not many are biting into the difficult problem how to get them reading in the first place. So besides building the MVP, we were also building relationships and domain authority. We were selling the product since the prototype. The traction on all metrics is starting to show. And we have plenty of ideas on how to fuel the growth in the future, both through organic and paid channels. Not only ideas, but also a concrete long-term vision, with a short-term plan focusing on 2 objectives, which is traction and funding. I have a diverse, resilient team, and we believe in COBE. That's why all of us went full-time April this year, and that's why I'm willing to bet the best years of my career on this project. But obviously, our dedication and grit alone cannot crack the global market. So here is my ask and your opportunity to contribute that a bunch of kids grow into happy and healthy adults.
Teddy bears and other stuffed animals, and then Lisa remembered.
Oh, perfect timing. Well done, Ursula. Now it's Mikko-Pekka and Pasi's turn to have questions.
Should I stop sharing my screen, or how do you? Oh, I already did. I think, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, first of all, I recommend you to look at Children and Youth Foundation and read our campaign. So it's on 8th September every year. We want to increase the kids to just read. And I think this is one of those things. Let's connect on that one. I'm happy to connect you with that.
Please,
what's your kind of like the methodology? Is there like IP in your methodology?
So the IP part is the content, because content is a crucial part. Yeah, content has to come in small chunks. It has to be entertaining, obviously, but especially for English, the vocabulary has to build in a certain order. So partly the idea is to build the IP on the content. The methodology itself, it's more or less the already proven methodologies put together and digitized in such a way that they're accessible and very intuitive to use. So there is no really possibility to patent anything. But yeah, so the IP, of course, on the content, it's possible to.
Okay. Do you have any like a measurement of the impact of your thing compared to other methods?
Yeah, so right now we are measuring the fluency, and the idea is that with the next feature release, when we will be also have implemented voice recognition, that this efficacy study will be built in the product, so that we will be able really with a lot of data see what is progress. But of course, we know if kids practice, they progress. The battle here is not that this tool is better than any other tool. You know, we are battling YouTube and those, like, we just want to get kids reading, which is the biggest problem. If kids are practicing, then they progress even with a regular book.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Then I would say that also comes to another challenge, another how do you compete with YouTube and all the talented or TikTok and all those things. So I think maybe finding because some of the edtech solutions are a little bit, they lack the same flair and glamour than TikTok and YouTube is having. So I think you have to like really think about that. How do you compete with those?
Yeah, definitely. This is a big challenge. Partly it's excellent UX, gamification that is not for the sake of gamification, but that it's built in the progress. We also bet that children, especially this age, they are very well aware that they are lagging behind the peers, so they want to learn. So when they see their own progress, building up on intrinsic motivation of a child is the best bet in this case, but also creating hooks that are making a child come back next day, and especially showing them that this is something that they can do in a short time, make short spurts of daily practice, so 7 minutes, which is doable. And of course, try to get parents on board, so that the parents create this 7 minutes in every day that the kids have a chance to practice. And then we believe that if we have sufficient data to have a proven methodology, that also getting into the educational system should be, because the educational system has a problem that they cannot provide individualized reading out loud training because of the class size. So there is also an opportunity there.
Got it.
Yeah, I like the focusing on the parents. They know the momentum. They are in charge. They can at the right time, at the right moment, when they're it's like they are the ones, so, and they are perfect paying customers. I love the your mama bear personality thing. It gives a good vibe, and you have a good drive on the pitch. My only question is, like, you were talking very heavily on the English side only, but then you mentioned that you have 5 other languages, and that's where my plane started to land a little bit. So it didn't go into details and further discussions about that.
So the Kobe at the moment, it's in 4 languages. We are starting with the English-speaking market because we did tests on different markets and we got the most stickiness with the English-speaking parents. So this is where we are starting. When we get the product market fit.
Sorry, Ursula, I have to cut you off. Could Mikko-Pekka and Pasi please give a quick score on impact and pitch?
Thank you.
I like the pace of the pitch. It lacked some issues, but the mama bear aspect and the personal things, I give it a 4. The impact wise, I'm a little bit worried about same thing as Mikko-Pekka said, that there's the competition. So I give it a 2.
Right. I give you like 3. Yeah, of course, the grades are very first impression, and it's more about us than you. So that's like this. But then anyway, so it's 3 and 3. I really think that your approach with the parents is the right one to go. That's good.
Okay, great.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ursula.
Thank you.
Good job.
See you around. And now we'll have the next pitch, which is Anna Smolander of Kodarit. Or do we have, sorry, apologies, it wasn't Anna, but it's Suvi Syrjäläinen from Kodarit.
Hello, Verneri.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
So how this goes?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay.
And then you can start. Can you see the timer?
Actually, no.
Okay.
So I have this. Yeah, I have these
it.
4 phases. So I have this. I have your, then Mikko-Pekka, and then Arctic Helsinki.
Okay.
So
well,
actually, the last one. Yeah.
There's going to be a timer for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, but you should start. Yeah.
Okay. So hello, everyone. I'm Suvi Syrjäläinen, CEO of Kodarit, and I founded this company 7 years ago. Before that, I worked as a software developer in high-tech companies. When I started Kodarit, our world was already suffering from lack of IT talent problem, but there were no customized coding training for children or possibility to do coding as a hobby. But now there is. So Kodarit knows, after these 7 years, Kodarit knows the best way to teach coding to children. So we have developed this kind of level course system where our 5 to 7 years old students start from baby coder level, and when they are 8, they move to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and end up to the black belt level, where they can stay with us as long as they want. We have gotten pedagogically quality Education Alliance Finland certificate to our level course system. So we use Finnish pedagogy, and our courses and lessons are colorful and fun. So if you have thought that coding is this kind of boring black and white thing, it's not. You can, for example, do your own map application, paint 2D, 2D and 3D games, or program devices. We have selected the highest quality and widest range of content to our level course system. So that is why we are better than our competitors. That is also why we are now the largest children coding school here in Finland. Now we have wrapped our excellence to licensing packets that we sell to our international customers. We have also planned to establish our own offices to Nordics and then provide video courses to our international customers. Here you can see our amazing international team, which will execute our plan. In addition to this team, we have also sales and marketing people, video team, and 22 coding teachers. We have opened our first investment round in this year, and we are looking for a total 300,000 euros investment with 1.35 million euros valuation. We have already achieved almost half of our target, so everything is ready to welcome new investors on board. And if you want to hear more hard facts from our company, here you can see my contact information. Thank you.
Thank you, Suvi. Excellent. Now Mikko-Pekka and Pasi can ask questions.
This is a very highly competitive market that you have. Did you say that you have a turnover of 400,000 already?
Yeah. Actually, last year we have. Yeah.
Elaborate that. You know, because that's a good sum of money. So where is it coming from? Is it mainly Finland? How many percent of Finland?
Yeah. Actually, we have had some international pilots, but that comes mainly from Finland. So to private customers and then municipalities. So we sell our courses to municipalities also. So to schools.
Yeah. So knowing that, you know, the next big thing, the internationalization is a big struggle in many ways. So kind of like to hear more about that. I love the different ways of coding so that you have your persona is reflected and your ways of learning is reflected to your interest, and that, you know, the coding comes like a side effect over there. So my how do you cope with the competition, international competition, and where to go next? What is the next possible market for you?
Yeah, so we have used our first investments to get our international B2B sales process better. So now it seems that we are getting more leads, and we have a lot of meetings with our potential licensing customers, and then we have developed that our video products also. So the basic idea is to first make that level course system video package to Finnish markets, and then translate that to different languages with AI, because AI speaks fluent languages. So that is our plan. And then, of course, we need some platform to sell our videos to different countries also. So that is the one thing where we are now looking for investors and investments.
And help.
and help.
Yeah, this is what I don't have a question. I have more like an observation that I find it difficult to understand what is the product, what you are selling to whom. That's like that's something that I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, we are here in Finland. We are selling hobby courses. So we have 3 semesters. So we have our autumn semester, spring semester, and then summer. So in summertime we sell summer camps, and then we sell 15 lessons, so 15 weeks coding courses, so level courses to private customers and then to municipalities, so the schools, so they can offer our courses to that city or municipal.
Okay, the question is that let's say that you succeed on your plan, that you'll have a revenue of $58 million or $500 million, something. So what's your view on how the world has changed better when you have succeeded?
If we want that everyone can influence that what kind of smart devices and applications we have, then there is a better chance if everyone has learned how to code in an early age. So because then it's like a basic skill in your head.
Yes. Yeah. Correct. Yes. I'm like thinking about from the impact score and value, the pitch score, that I think what you really have to work on is your go-to-market.
Yeah.
With whom and how you can do it, and that's something that I would like to give 2.5 on the pitch on that one, because like the problem and solution are fairly clear, but the go-to-market to get there, it's a little bit lacking, and that's something that I think you have to really think about.
Yeah.
And then from the impact side, I would say that the coding, I think it is the basic skill, but there are still things that needs to be solved a little bit more as well. And I think that the learning to code, there must be some other ways to do it as well, given the fact that there is this OpenAI, GPT stuff already coming. The AI there's like something else looming over there. I don't know what it is. I can't describe it, but from the impact side, I would give you like 3.
Yeah, I agree on that the coding is important, and the coding kind of positive mentality to coding and understand the coding and not being frightened of it. Yes, I would give it a 3 as an impact, and the pitch I would give also a 3.
Perfect. Thank you, Suvi, for your pitch. Well done. We'll see you around and stick around for the end. Now we have the second to last pitch. Definitely not least. So Thomas Norman Ekegren, and the startup is Maneno. Please welcome to the stage. Welcome, Thomas. You just share your screen and start whenever you're ready.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. Okay, is my screen showing correctly?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Small mistake. Let's see. We're just trying to redo this. Sorry for this.
No worries.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's jumping a little bit. It should be fine now, hopefully.
Yeah, go ahead. Your time is already going.
Oh,
You can
sorry.
take the timer as well.
Okay, so my name is Thomas Norman Ingein, and I'm the founder and CEO of Menino, where we inspire and develop reading through play. So today, a lot of parents are struggling to get their children to read, which is primarily driven by the increase in the entertainment choices, where kids will be spending their time on YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, playing iPad games and Roblox, and being on social media. Unfortunately, this leads to a decrease in reading for pleasure and has subsequently impacted literacy rates worldwide, where they're approaching an alarming decline. Therefore, what we have done is to build a reading app that inspires and develops reading through play, where children will be given a small baby dragon character that is also available as a soft toy that they have to read to. And as they read, they get the dragon to grow. And this helps them build a reading habit in a fun and gamified way. We also provide them with assistive technology that helps them build out their vocabulary and improve their pronunciation skills and fluency skills. After reading books, children can assess their comprehension through AI-generated quizzes and games, and all of this is tied into us depicting a profile of the reading level of the child that we share with parents and educators. To date, we have helped over 121,000 children, and on average, we see an increase in reading level by 2x within the first 30 days, and on average of 5x within the time that they spend with us. We are a very small team of dedicated and passionate readers dedicated to making a big impact. We are addressing a total addressable market of $14 billion combined with edutainment industry and digital children's books publishing. And we believe that we are in the sweet spot in edutainment because we combine having great content from great publishers, having gamified learning that kids are familiar with from Kahoot, for instance, and tying that into a social element that kids love from TikTok and Snapchat. We are currently reaching a lot of countries around the world with our different partnerships, and are currently having an annual recurring revenue of £700,000. We have 20,000 paid seats. At the moment, we're experiencing a monthly churn rate of around 10% and have a CAC over LTV ratio of 4.9. We're inviting you to invest in the company on a 1.5 million pound seed round with 5.
Hi, Thomas. Sorry, I have to cut you off.
Okay.
I have to be very strict.
But I was done anyway, so
yes, perfect. Well done. Mikko-Pekka and Pasi will ask questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, a good topic, and again, I'll need you to contact you with the Read Hour campaign that Children and Youth Foundation is running.
Okay.
And spark some inspiration on this one. I'm a little bit curious about the evolution of your brand, because now you have the Maneno, the character. Then you have a TikTok that is the most creative, talent pool of the world. There's a lot of content generated in TikTok all the time.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna compete with that? And what's your a branding strategy because you're not only selling you're selling the character and then you're selling the reading.
Yeah. So what we see is that kids really enjoy the soft toy. That's why we're starting a licensing operation of selling like these soft toys and content around that. And then what we're doing currently is building out content about those dragon stories, which enable us to build like a licensing franchise of that specific piece of content. What we see is that children are really excited about learning to read initially, but then they drop off when they are like exposed to TikTok. But what we find is that they lack a purpose of why they should be reading, because they simply, a lot of children, when they reach the point where they feel that they're able to read, they stop seeing the purpose of continuing to do that. So what we do on our platform is continuously telling them how they can improve their reading and drive like intrinsic motivation through that piece. So that's our claim to fame. Whether we will ever be TikTok, that's not an ambition for us, but if we can drive them to the place where we give them sustainable reading skills that enables them to cope in life, then that's our mission.
All right.
Yeah, I love the slogan "Reading for Pleasure," because reading for pleasure. So that is something that's very. I love the character, but it's a very highly competitive market. And so I'm just, and then you have geography where you're already stationed, that were a little bit different than usual. If you could elaborate a little bit on that, and maybe kind of like what is the kind of the core audience that you are after?
Yeah.
So maybe those questions.
Yeah. So the core audience is 12 and under. So typically 5 to 12 when they have learned the phonics system and blending words together. That would typically be the point where they start using our platform.
Could you please more for your own sake be a little bit more specific than 5 to 12? Okay. I really, like where you need to hit to catch the rest, where do you need to hit? What is the kind of the prime age?
At the very early stage, so that's 7 to 9.
7 to 9. Yeah, okay.
So the point where you just learn the phonics, you start reading very simple textbooks, and then up until like for 2 years following that. The second question was around the market, so that looked a little bit out of the ordinary.
Yes.
So we started in Denmark. That was our main, like our first market, and then we transferred over to the UK to start building a UK operation. But as that, when we talk internationally, like our end goal is going into Asia, because the buying power there is really huge, especially for English language learning. So our bridge from Denmark to UK was around getting UK content that we could then use as an English language learning platform in Asia, where the buying power is the biggest in the world.
Do you have kind of local knowledge of those markets? Do you have in your team people that are actually from there?
Yeah, so one of our board members is Eric Wang, who has a background from Disney and Penguin Random House, and he's like Asian American, but has all the contacts in Asia. So he's helping us set up. We won't go direct; we will go through a partner. So that's been our strategy. Previously, we've done direct to consumer, but we want to go the partner route now. And that's why we could see that when we signed a partnership with a Turkish distributor that allowed us to penetrate 14 countries at the same time, we want to do the same in an Asian market, partnering with companies over there.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Can Pasi and Mikko-Pekka quickly give a 1 to 5 score on impact and the pitch?
Impact, I give the reading is a 4 for me, of course, but then the English language that takes it down to 1, so I give it a 3 on the impact side, and presentation I give it a 3.
Yeah, I give also 3 and 3. But I urge, let's connect otherwise to get to the Children and Youth Foundation. I think that the marketing is something that needs still work. The branding, I don't know what it is, but there's something to be worked on.
Okay, got it.
Thank you, Thomas. Well done.
Thank you.
See you around. All the best. And now we will welcome our final pitch of the day. And after that, we will have a short. We will convene with the jury to choose a winner. So now I'd like to welcome Geetali Dewan, and the startup is called StarClass.
Hello, I'll just share my slide.
Yes, welcome.
Let me check if I can go back. Yes. Should I start?
Yes, please start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Geetali, and I am the co-founder of the company called StarClass. I'm based here in Helsinki. So not able to provide education to everybody really hurts me. And today I'm going to talk to you about illiteracy. So there are more than 700 million people in the world. UNESCO estimates that those people cannot even read or write properly. So why is this problem of illiteracy which exists? The number one reason being poverty. So in developing regions, especially in rural areas, people cannot actually afford to go to schools, and especially where there's education is privatized, there is also lack of schools. In rural areas, again, in developing countries, there are not many schools that cater to these children. There is poor infrastructure because of which students don't have proper roads or proper buses to travel to the schools. And also there are cultural barriers. Cultural barriers would include your gender, your caste, or your religion. So I'm not able to move. Okay, so what is the solution? The solution is really simple. It is the internet. But now you will ask me, most of the people in India have basic internet facilities. They have mobile phones. So why don't they download these applications like Unacademy or Baiju, which are the leading edtechs in the world? Well, I can explain you the reason by telling you the story of how we started. So one of my co-founders who's still in India, he was in the west part of India teaching history in his language, which is Gujarati. And by the way, Gujarati has 50 million speakers. So he would teach history to a class of 60 students, charging 400 euros per year. Luckily, he was fired from his job, and he was able to make an application and reduce the cost of that application because he put all the content online. So he reduced the cost of his services to 40 euros per year. So he expected the 60 students, to come back to him because he was a good teacher and he would see this. But instead, he saw more than 30,000 paid customers. These customers we analyzed these customers, and most of them were from rural areas of India where education was not possible for him. And he also earned a profit, which was for 350,000 euros. And even most of the customers were even girls. So when we analyzed this data, we came to know there is a demand of this huge demand of these teachers telling us to build an application where they can educate students at a low price and for good quality. So we decided we'll do the same. We are trying to build this platform where we will offer extremely low fee schooling.
Cut you off. It was 3 minutes. So now Mikko, Pekka, and Pasi can ask questions and dig deeper.
Funnily,
thank you. Yes, go on.
Sorry. Yeah, funnily, Gitali, I was really fascinated about your story. There was storytelling. We didn't get to the product yet, but I was following you all the way. What's really happening. You're telling the kind of the background and everything. So it would be nice to hear the ending of the story. Where are you really at? So we didn't get to that point, but somehow you were able to take in a very natural way from your own perspective, how you got here, and it's always fascinating to put that in the pitch. Unfortunately, you ran out of time, and that usually happens when you do that. But somehow putting that, it was a good start. But I have no idea what your product is.
Oh, I can quickly just add one line that what we did with one teacher, we're trying to do it with everybody, with all possible languages. That's it. Simple solution to the simple problem.
Yeah, just thank you also that I learned a lot to just revealing that I'm literate about the world as well. So I didn't know that there's languages like Gujarati or Marathi. So now I know. That's 10 times more of those people speaking than Finnish language, which I think the
population of Germany is same as Marathi language. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So that I think that there is this a constant need to find solutions for this one. But it's just I'm thinking about especially Indian market, which is a fascinating market because things can be really viral over there. And I'm just looking for the kind of the story is great, but where is this kind of the hit song, the viral effect of this one, so that millions of people will start using it? and I think you should put your like levels to millions of users.
I have a counter attack on that. I in a way I love that you're tackling a local problem. It is that that it's not even, maybe it is scalable, but at least you are tackling a local problem that that there is the way you do it could be transformed to other also some other tribes or languages or whatever. So in that sense, I don't know.
Pasi, what I'm saying that the local problem is millions.
Yes,
it
is.
Yeah,
but it's not still like the big one like what we're looking at. But it's still it's a big local problem. Yes.
I'll tell you one thing. For instance, when you saw the data of uneducated people, 25% of people are from Africa. So we are tackling Africa problem. We are targeting India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other Asian countries. It's not just a local problem; it's millions of people. Yes.
But also one thing that came to my mind is also that that in many countries they have their local languages, and they are kind of like they need to start with English or French or whatever, some other stupid language they hardly use.
Exactly.
And still at home they speak something totally different. So in that sense, it's like a global local problem.
Right, okay. And language barrier is one of the major reasons why why people after years of schooling still remain illiterate. I mean, this is again the data by UNESCO that 171 million people can be brought out of poverty if everybody just knows how to read and write. And everybody like many people are getting education, but they don't understand it.
Perfect. Would Mikko-Pekka and Pasi like to give a impact and pitch score for Gitali?
I don't know. I because since this is out in the open and in the air for me, I don't know why I give it a 4 as impact. I don't know why. I have no reasons for that, but I feel like it very strongly. And your story was also, even though it was not finished, at least I could listen to some more. So I would give a 3 on that.
Thank you.
I give a 4 on the impact side, like a proper scale problem to solve. From pitch side, I give 2, not because of that I didn't know it, but I think that it's maybe too ambitious problem to find a actual solution to it. So that I think balancing the problem and solution a little bit might be well, because that's my kind of like idea.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Gitali, for the pitch. Now we're gonna have
good job.
Now we're gonna have a 6-minute break. So that was the final pitch. We're gonna have 5 minutes now. Ines, 5 minutes. So we start at 55. Are we in a breakout room? Mikko-Pekka, Pasi, and I will go into breakout room and convene for 5 minutes. Then we announce the winners.
Nordip is organized because the world is facing huge challenges and we need solutions, and those solutions come from the science-based innovations and inventions, and we need to bring them to market, and that's why Nordip facilitates putting the business and science together.
The exciting thing about combining entrepreneurs, scientists and investors is that there happens so much in that meeting. For too long we have kept these apart, that investing is one thing, science is another. And in that meeting and that intersection, so many exciting things happen. It's seldom I'm in such energetic conversations with people as the conversations that happen here, between scientists, meeting capital, meeting entrepreneurs. So there's so much energy created in these meetings.
First of all, it is exciting to see that there is this opportunity for mission-driven entrepreneurs to come and in this region to see what is happening. This is not a common thing to do, to promote deep tech on a private level. It's great to have it here, and all those people who are willing to share ideas, discuss things, and implant the seeds of future deep tech potential.
When you are tackling the problems of today, you are tackling them from the scientific point of view. But many times for the VCs, you actually have to hide that and talk about the business opportunity only. And I think it's great here that people actually ask you about the science. They want to know the details about things. And of course, you talk about the business opportunity, but the science comes first. And I like that.
It's been inspiring to see how open the community here is. I definitely would recommend for younger people to come here that are interested in startups or have deep tech interests and want to connect with lovely people and understand more about deep tech.
This has been a very anticipated event that brought together business and science together in the same place, which was something very needed and very important, and that I'm looking forward to see it growing in the future editions of the Nordic Deep Tech Business Summit.
I'm hoping that this is a first step towards a bigger, meaningful things in the future, and I believe Nordip can be one big player who can make a real impact on the world for everybody's daily lives in the future.
All right. So everyone has pitched, and the jury has convened to decide the three winners. So I'll hand it off to Mikko-Pekka to make that announcement, and then I will close the event after that.
Yes, and there's a bigger problem that not one solution can solve, and it's literacy. And I congratulate all the startups that has a literacy related, reading related solution. But I would like to give a prize or the winner thing for those that try to solve this problem. It's the sorry, I'm finding this. It's the Ursula's dyslexia thing. If you have troubles to read, you need a solution to that one. And then somehow Getali, I don't know how you're going to do it, but if you don't know to read, maybe you can help on this one. And then the third approach, if you don't have a motivation to read, maybe you need Maneno to do that. But I think you three and all the other literacy related programs are tonight's, this evening's and afternoon's winners. To say that, I say that everybody are doing fantastic job. Some of them you are far ahead of doing that already, changing the world. Some of you are in the early stages, and I congratulate it that you have already started the journey despite the grand challenge that you all are trying to solve.
Okay, so congratulations to the winners. They were StarClass, Kobe, and which was the last?
Maneno.
Maneno. That's right. Congratulations to you guys. Congratulations also to everybody else. I want to remind you that the jury has 2 people in it, and the world has 7 billion. So you guys are all doing a really fantastic job, even though they're super great jury that we have. Thank you to Mikko-Pekka and Pasi for doing that jury job this whole time. Thank you for every single startup, especially the ones that are still here for us at the final. Yeah, from our side, this has been a great, fantastic event. Last time we did it was 2020, but we want to continue to do it, and hopefully we can showcase like the best startups that are helping children around the whole world for years to come. And we also, yeah, you guys will be in contact with all the startups about upcoming events and such. I want to thank everybody that is in the YouTube viewing this event, and the people that are going to watch this on replay. Super awesome. Just happy holidays. Enjoy the time. Take some rest, especially all the startup founders. You have the opportunity to reset, regenerate, and hit 2023 running. So yes, that's all. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.